Hey, business building warrior, welcome to Silent Sales Machine Radio. We have a great interview episode for you today, which means we've brought one of the successful, proven Amazon course students from our community onto the show to share their story. Our guest today is Lina Katarski, and she has actually recently also joined our team as a coach. We love to tap the shoulder of some of the most successful students in our community and say, hey, how do you feel about helping others learn some of the skills that you've learned over your time selling on Amazon and teach it to others so they can succeed as well? That's how we've grown our coaching team internally, successful students who have a teacher's heart. And you're going to certainly see that today reflected in Lina and her story as she shares. She's got a teacher's heart. She's someone who would be a great person to take into your life as a mentor or a coach. We've got about 60 of them on our team right now, approximately. And if you want to talk about coaching after hearing this episode, you can go to silentjimdotcom and click on coaching, or just go straight to silentjim.com/book a call. Get on our schedule. Let's have a conversation about where you're at, where your business is, where you're trying to go. Let's see if we can help you out. Very low pressure, answer all your questions, fill you in on all the details, and then make a good decision. Maybe all you need is some of our free resources. That's what we'll tell you about, and we'll help you however we can. We'd love to meet you. Well, let's talk about Lina just a little bit more. Like I said, she is a student in our community, but she's been doing this about 7 years at this point. Her and her family, her husband, they do it together. They've got some young kids. They both got full-time careers, as you'll hear her describe. So they're working full-time, and then in 15 hours or so a week, they're squeezing into the cracks of their life this business. They started off doing retail sourcing, which meant they went store to store. Her husband would go out, hit the stores, bring back all the products that they had bought based on the research they're doing from the training that they've received. So they'd hit the stores, bring it back, ship it in themselves. That was their routine. Well, now they've got a different routine. Now they're sourcing online, and they've used some of the training from the Proven Amazon course that taught them about online sourcing. The module inside the Proven Amazon course that teaches this is called OA Simplified. So they use some of those strategies. But I love the fact, here's something I really like, and you'll hear this stand out in the story. They only use Keepa, Keepa. If you don't know what Keepa is, go back and listen to episode 369 of this show. Describes what Keepa is. That's the only sourcing tool they use. None of these fancy, slick add-ons and different tools that supposedly do all these incredible, fancy things. They're just using Keepa. And that's what we teach in our course as well, as you've got to understand Keepa. So they use a few simple strategies with just Keepa. She describes it in detail today, and you'll see how powerful this business can be with just a few simple tools. Keepa is $20 a month. No, it's not a set it and forget it, just plug it in, turn it on, and make money. No, you've got to learn how to use Keepa and through the filter of the way we teach you to use it. A lot of people teach it very differently than we do. We've been teaching it longer than anyone, and we've got dozens of creative ways that you can use that tool to build a beautiful business. And this is just one of many Amazon strategies that we teach, some of which don't involve Keepa at all. But this is where we like to start new students, and this is a story that I think is going to motivate and encourage new students. They've built a business. This family has built a business selling tens of thousands of dollars of product every month, nice margins. They've squeezed it into the cracks of their life, and they're building a beautiful future as a result of what they've learned from this community, from this podcast. You'll hear her reference that, and from our coaching program. They were coaching students before they were coaches. I love that organic flywheel that's been created here, where we care about people, bring them in, teach them what they need to know. They become successful. We turn them into leaders who encourage and inspire and equip others to do the same. That's what's happening around here. And today is just another one of hundreds of episodes that illustrate what this community is all about. And we're so glad that you're here with us, the best part of our show, hanging out to hear this story. One other thing before I turn it over to the episode, you'll hear us talk a little bit about this today, our upcoming Proven Conference. This is a live gathering that's going to happen in Orlando, Florida, the last 3 days of May 2025, the 29th, 30th, and 31st. We're going to be in Orlando at a resort near SeaWorld. Bring the family. Enjoy very low cost hotel rooms. Can't wait to see you there. Hundreds of us will be gathering. Hundreds are already registered. You can get over to theprovenconference.com and get all the details. Links to all of that and all the other resources I'll be talking about with Lina today are in the show notes with this episode. So you don't have to write it down. Just go to the show notes or reach out to us if we mention something and you need some assistance with it. We'd be happy to help. All right. God bless you, business building warrior. Let's jump over, spend some time with Lina. Enjoy. So Lina, welcome to Silent Sales Machine Radio. Good to see you.
Good to see you. Thank you for having me, Jim.
It's always a pleasure to meet new guests. And as I probably mentioned in the introduction already, a new coach on our team. Can't wait to unpack your story. So excited to dive in. So if you're ready, let's do it.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Our journey began close to 7 years ago. This was when I was still pregnant with our second child. And actually, our Amazon experience, my husband was the one who started it first. Just as he was born, he decided to bring an additional income to the family, and he started digging more into what is Amazon, what is the e-commerce, how we can make this happen. And he started slowly with retail arbitrage. We were very closely following your group for, as I said, the last 7 years.
So your e-commerce journey started with this community, basically.
With this community, yes.
Wow, okay.
Our e-commerce, we found your Facebook group, and everything started there with all the inspiring stories of all the people, with your courses that you offered at such a great discount, so many multiple times throughout the year. We took advantage of them, and we learned Keepa. We followed all of the retail, going to the store and checking, all the supplies that they have, and just looking for profitable replens. That was our first model that we started.
Wow, and that's kind of rare. I'm making an observation. We've had hundreds of guests on the show, and most people, their story was they tried and failed at several different things. You guys started right out with this community, with this podcast, with our training, and you tried in, and that's what you've been doing now. You said for coming up on 7 years. And so you have 2 kids. One of them's what, 6, 7, and then an older sibling?
Yes, we have a 6-year-old and we have a 9-year-old.
6 and 9.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Oh, yes. I love it. Yeah, you guys are blessed. That's so great.
Yes, we are. We jumped right away into coaching.
Okay.
Within the first few months. As soon as my husband tried, RA, he found some great products that we were able to flip instantaneously on Amazon. He said, I need a coach. I want to know how we can expand this more. And at that point, my part of the business was the packing and shipping.
Okay. And he was sourcing, you were packing and shipping.
Yes, he was sourcing because I was home with the kids. They were still very young at that point. Right. And he was sourcing, and I was the one, packing and getting it.
Was there other income at this time? Like, what was the...
Yes, he still had his, and he still currently has his, regular full-time job.
Right.
So am I. But we both have been working remotely for many years now. And we had this opportunity.
So you have the flexibility.
We had the flexibility.
Of schedule.
Yes.
Okay, beautiful.
Yes, we were very fortunate about that we had a pretty flexible schedules.
Yeah. And so this is something you work on together while you still both maintain your careers. Yes, makes sense. Beautiful arrangement. So you're building something for the future together. I love it.
Yes. Okay. And yes, we did couple years RA, and we met through your group again. Actually, we saw a post from a friend of currently friend of ours, very good friend of ours, that she's been also in your community. I don't remember what was the topic about, but she posted something and we recognized her name. I was like, I know this girl. This is definitely a Bulgarian name. We're both, my husband and I, am originally from Bulgaria. So we connected with her, and it's, long story short, we knew each other from my 9 to 5 job.
Oh, from your regular 9 to 5.
Yes,
Yeah, your regular job.
from my regular job. And we started talking, and she was just such an inspiration for us because Amazon is their only income for her family, both her husband and that's what they do. That's what they have been doing for 10 plus years.
Wow.
They've been doing that since Amazon was selling only used books.
Only books. Yeah. Back then,
Yes.
10 years.
So
Yeah.
they go way back, and we were so fortunate to meet those people. They became very good friends to us. And just a week or two after that, Leah Maudlin, who was, also very known person in your community, she said, "Oh, I'm located in Colorado," and something in that sentences. And we reached out to her and we were like, "Hey, we are also in Colorado. This is where we live. We would love to meet you and just make new friends." And she was just our favorite person.
She's a lot of people's favorite. She along with Jessica on our team, LaRue, put together OA Simplified, which is a module inside the Proven Amazon course. And she helps with, Jeff Schick now. She's part of his team helping with the legal things. I'll stick links to all that in the show notes for those who don't know what we're talking about. But Leah is such a great leader in our community, built a beautiful business.
So
honored to work with her.
He became our coach. And this is the point when we switched from RA to 100% OA, our Amazon business.
That's quite a flip. So were you still doing all the prepping yourself in your home?
Very shortly after, we did get maybe within 6 months after switching from RA to OA, we did hire a prep center.
All right. All right.
A prep center in Oregon, and we've been sending everything to them.
That's fantastic. And for those who don't know about that, prepcenternetwork.com it's a list of all the known prep centers, and you can have your inventory sent there if you don't want it sent to your house. When you shop online, you can send it to anywhere, right? So that's what you guys started doing rather than going out retail stores.
Absolutely.
I'm interested to hear how that changed the dynamic in your family. And
we were able to scale our business, I would say 3 times as soon as we outsourced it.
Mm-hmm.
Because before that, our routine was okay, this is our day job. Now it finishes. We got, then we have some family time, dinner, kids go to bed, and okay, there it is. It's 8:30 p.m. We have to start packing. And we would pack, we would have late nights, or I would pack and my husband will be outsourcing or vice versa. And as soon as we switched to OA, it was like, and a prep center, just those two combined made our business so much more easy, and we were able to scale.
Right.
That's when we were able to scale.
Your net margins probably dropped a little.
Very little.
It didn't drop at all.
Yes, because the taxes that we would have paid if those items were sent to us, they kind of balanced each other. They offset each other, and we didn't see lowering our margins.
Yeah, phenomenal.
That much.
Beautiful. And in most states, that's a deduction or credit back. That money, the tax dollars you spend shopping for inventory would have been credited back to you anyway. But the convenience of just saying, hey, okay, we don't pay any sales tax anymore. We're having our products shipped to a non-sales tax state as we shop online.
Having that extra time to source, which will expand our Amazon catalog and our variety. We always say, okay, listen what Jim said, go wide.
Not deep, go wide.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
So we were trying different categories, and we were just able to just have a very big catalog. Yes.
Fantastic. So how many ASINs do you guys have currently?
That's a question I should ask my husband,
Oh, that's
because
okay.
yes,
Approximately.
we switched. Our roles kind of switched now. I am doing strictly sourcing, and he does all of the Amazon maintenance.
The Seller Central. He logs into Seller Central. Yeah.
He is the Seller Central guy. Yes.
Right. Right.
Yes.
I love how your business has kind of morphed and evolved over time, and you've probably both settled into roles that you're more comfortable with and competent in, right? Is it just the two of you still, besides the prep
It is
stuff?
two of us, and we do have also a VA.
A virtual assistant assisting you with the sourcing, I'd imagine.
That is sourcing. That is sourcing for us. Yes.
Beautiful.
Yes.
I love it. Well, what else would you like to share from your story? It sounds like you guys have built a beautiful new routine. I wouldn't mind hearing, like, what is the routine? How many hours does it take? How do you squeeze this into your life now? Like, are the kids involved? Like, go wherever you'd like with this.
The kids are not as involved at this point, even though that we have given them some labels to put.
Sure, sure.
Yes, but since everything is outsourced,
Yeah.
they're not involved at this point.
Right.
Honestly, I don't think I spent more than 2 to 3 hours a day sourcing, especially with the help of the VA. I'm able to go very fast. Oh, okay, this is the websites that she kind of gave me that have current discounts. These are her leads to me. I will decide if I buy everything or if I maybe dig myself deeper, because let's say it's a beauty product and I know other beauty products of this brand that I have sold before. I can quickly just go through our old inventory, pull those ASINs back, and just find new old products.
Yeah.
Replace.
So your virtual assistant,
Yes.
what processes is she using, or he currently, and what are you paying them to run those processes for?
She's using strictly Keepa. We
Okay.
didn't give her access to any other softwares. She just does Keepa or front store stocking. These are the two techniques that I personally have found the most success.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
powerful. It's certainly powerful. It's one of a handful. I guess maybe we have 25 or 30 different Keepa strategies at this point. And one of the
Yes.
most popular ones that you can certainly build your whole career on is just what you called
Yes.
storefront stocking. Just looking at what other sellers are selling and looking if any of those ASINs are
Yes.
underserved with
Yes.
room for other sellers.
Mhm.
And Keepa makes that easy. I love how simple your arrangement is with your virtual assistant. I think sometimes people overcomplicate this. It's really not a complicated business.
No, I wanted to keep as simple as possible to her. And yeah, we have given her, a couple of categories and what are our requirements in those categories? How many numbers of sellers do we want to see? How many, stripes, on sales do we want to see? What's our margins? And from there, I again overlook what she sent us, and on the spot I decide, well, this makes sense, or maybe, okay, I will send her a note, and this is what I think about this particular
done.
case.
Yeah,
Yes.
a beautiful routine. What do you pay? I have a feeling, I know
We
basic
pay
price range.
$4 an hour.
You said 4?
4.
Yeah, that's a
Yes.
great wage in the Philippines.
Yes.
That is a
And,
tremendous income.
And she's full-time.
Yeah, full-time.
Full-time.
So
Yes.
$160 a week, and she is
Yes.
actively finding all of your inventory for you, and you just kind of go through and decide which ones you're going to buy. So you're the buyer, then your
Yes.
husband manages the Seller Central side, and that's your team.
Yes. Yes, that's it. As simple as it sounds, that's how it is.
Phenomenal. Yes. Well, it's just more evidence of the simplicity and the viability of this business model that we teach here.
Yes.
And
Yes.
I love that you're going to be a coach on our team. We'll talk maybe a little bit more about that here in a couple minutes, but I think the simplicity of it, the way you've described it, that's going to resonate with some folks and they're going to say, hey, I think I want Lina to be my coach. So yeah, we'll stick the information in the show notes today about how to contact our coaching team if that's something the listeners are interested in. But Lina, okay, I love it. So I want to dive in a little more with a little more specificity, whatever you want to share about your business.
Yes.
As far as numbers, how you source, what categories you're in, just break it down like you're explaining to someone maybe who is considering doing the business as well. Go wherever you'd like to go.
Well, with probably everybody knows how Amazon has been a little aggressive on us sellers lately. Many brands closing, many restrictions, many more restrictions. So we have been hit quite a bit for the last 12 months with brands. We're just losing big brands. But we didn't give up. We changed categories. We used to be very heavy on beauty category.
Yeah, beauty has been rough. Sorry. Yeah, beauty has been really rough, hasn't it, the past year? We're not much in that category, but a lot of big brands have pulled back the opportunity.
Yes, absolutely. And other big brands as Coach, which we got really hit bad right there with Coach. Our store was, doing very well with this brand. So we've been trying to find other brands, not one, multiple, that we could replace what, for instance, Coach and beauty products were for us.
Right.
So we started exploring in women's apparel. We started exploring in tools and hardware and automotive. So I think our store before was more one or two categories, while now we have less ASINs, but we have more categories. So I kind of like it. I kind of like it this way better.
Yeah, you're diversified across more categories, and again, the inch deep, mile wide. We're not going super deep on any one product or one brand. As a reseller, we can sell anything, that we're allowed to sell. There's millions and millions of ASINs we can sell against. Yeah, you're diversifying, and that is wise. And automotive, you have to get approved for that as a category.
Yes, this is something that my husband did couple of years back. So we were fortunate at that point. It wasn't a big issue for us. Yes.
Yep. So we say all the time, there's two great times to start an Amazon business. One of them was, 8 years ago. The other one is today.
Yes.
Because the longer you're in it, the easier it is for you to pivot. But I also know new sellers get advantages that we didn't get. They give them incentives and suspend fees and all kinds of incentives to get new sellers in the door. But yeah, that's part of the reality of this is you're always going to be learning, which I'm sure you do. I wouldn't mind hearing how you learn and what your routines are there. And you're always going to be pivoting in some way. What works today may not still work 6 months or 8 months from now. As long as you're always adding new ASINs, which I know you guys do, that's the journey. And
this is what our journey for the last 12 months has been, to kind of rebuild per se, our store one more time, with a little bit of a different approach. And yes, we are still learning in some of those categories because we've never sold, in hardware, for instance. But if you know how to read the Keepa graph, if you're comfortable with that, I think category, brand, or name is just a statement. It doesn't really matter.
A Keepa chart is a Keepa chart. The product is irrelevant.
Keepa chart.
That's right. Yeah. So we're selling any and all categories that we're allowed to sell in, and just go diverse. Yeah.
Yes.
There's some advantages to getting familiar with different categories and brands because you recognize when new stuff is happening. But we're in so many categories. I think our heaviest in my business is hardware and tools, but we're in every category. About the only category I avoid
Yes.
is electronics high end? Because the returns, just the warranty issues, that's just not worth messing with. And I've avoided shoes. I mean, some people love it. We do some shoes, but just the return, especially women's shoes, the returns, and it's just like, I don't want to mess
Yes.
with that. But there's people who do really well there too.
Yes, we did try also some shoes. That was our experience, just as you said. Just the return didn't make sense.
You got to have a good plan to
Yes.
those returns.
You gotta use different platforms then for those, returns that would come without a box and you cannot send it, again.
Right. You got to send it to eBay or
Without
Facebook
original
Marketplace.
box. Yes.
Exactly.
We always try to do, so how would I want to receive, if I'm the buyer, how would I want to receive this pack? So I always try to look our business also from the buyer standpoint of view. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, it sounds like you're running a fantastic business. I wouldn't mind hearing some of the tools that you guys use. And let's talk about some of your ongoing education. Like, how do you stay sharp? What are you studying? What are you listening to? That sort of thing. Tackle those questions, if you will.
Yes. As I said, our tools are simple. In the beginning, we jumped in all kind of different tools. We had millions of subscriptions here and there and searches and softwares.
Yeah.
And the deeper we got, the simpler it got for us to find products. And we are using Just Keepa. I love front store stocking. This is what I've been doing for quite some time. Manual sourcing is another thing that I believe I'm good at. And you don't need any tools for that.
Oh. So when you say manual sourcing, are you talking about online or going to retail?
No, I'm talking online. I would, let's say I know Target is having a sale, toys sale, and I would pull on one of my screens, the Target website, and I would just Amazon on the other, and I would just go back and forth and back and forth. Yes, it is time consuming, but this is where you find your biggest gems.
Hey, you look at the Keepa charts for those products and
yes,
and away you go. Yeah, looking for the winners that meet your criteria.
Yes, and we do a little bit of seasonal, but nothing crazy. We try to have a catalog that sells year round. But yes, now with Halloween and with Christmas coming, we would add some additional, seasonal items like Halloween costumes or accessories. And
right. I love the simplicity and how robust this is, and the fact that you've built a resilient business as well. You lost some brands, you had categories become a challenge, you just pivoted.
Yes.
Hey, the same skills that we've learned apply in different categories. Let's diversify out a little bit. Yeah, absolutely. Fantastic. Well, what else would you like to share with us today? You've painted a beautiful picture. I love the family dynamic of the flexibility. You guys have both kept your careers. This is a side thing, but it sounds like it's gone really well for you. And have you been doing it, you said 7 years?
Yes.
Yeah, that's incredible. Anything else on your mind that you'd like to share to kind of help paint the picture of the reality of this business in your home?
No, just listening to your podcast and your Facebook group has been giving us a lot of courage to try different things and not to give up, and just to have multiple incomes for the family. Yes,
multiple streams. Yeah, it's a beautiful concept, isn't it? Yeah, and you guys have achieved it. Have you been to one of our conferences?
Yes, we have. We have been in the one few years back in Indiana.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, it's been around a while. It's
been 5 years ago.
Well, you got to come back to Tampa, or excuse me, to Orlando in 2025. I'd love to see you guys in person again.
Yes. We do have some family now in Florida, so that I think that is a possibility.
Oh, that would be so great. Yeah, and especially now that your guys are coming on the coaching team and bring the
Yes.
kids down. We're right next to SeaWorld. I know you know this, but it's the last 3 days of May 2025. We're going to be on theprovenconference.com is the website for the listener's sake. I'm sharing these things, but yeah, I'd love to see you guys there. That would be so great.
Yes.
Wow. Well, welcome aboard as well to the
Thank
coaching
you.
team. I know you're going to be working with Chris, you said, right? On Chris's team.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fantastic, man. This community continues to grow with great leaders, great stories, and it was an honor hearing your story today. Unless you got anything else on your list, I think we're going to inspire and encourage some people today, and I think we're probably going to get a few phone calls, people saying, "Hey, I want to meet that new coach, and Lina, I really liked her." So, welcome
Thank
to
you.
the
I would
team.
love to hear that. Yes, I would
Yeah,
love to share, my experience and just help other people build a successful business.
beautiful. Well, you've certainly done it, and congratulations. And it's a pleasure hanging out with you and getting to know you a little bit today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, my pleasure. Can't wait to work together with you guys. So, for the listeners' sake today who heard Lina's story, let me just talk direct to the audience for a moment. Hey, thanks for hanging out with us today. If this is one of the first episodes you've ever heard, you really should take note that we've got hundreds of episodes like this. We've been doing this a long time. We've been teaching e-commerce success longer than anyone in the industry. We've actually been teaching e-commerce and coaching e-commerce longer than anyone. We have a 22-year-old e-commerce coaching program. So we've coached almost 10,000 people at this point. And today you met one of our latest coaches who's joined the team. We love what we do here. We love serving. We love creating success stories for real families like the one you met today. And if you want to get more information about all of that, just go to silentjimdotcom. If you want to have a conversation with us, click on the coaching link and sign up for a time slot. We'd love to have a chat with you about your e-commerce goals, see if we can help you make those things happen. But on behalf of the team that puts these episodes together, thanks for joining us today. And one last time, you were a fantastic guest today. Thank you, Lina.
Thank you. Thanks again.
You. We'll have another great episode for the Business Building Warriors very soon. God bless. Till then.